This is the Dominate in Real Estate Podcast, the podcast for real estate agents looking to dominate in their real estate business, dominate their marketing, and dominate in their community. From lead generation to databases and CRM, from social media to scripts, we cover it all. It's time to welcome your host, Jason Jakus.
And this is Jason Jakus, and I'm here today in Columbus, Ohio, at Next Home Experience. And I've got the pleasure of sitting here with Nick, one of the top agents here. And Nick, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience?
Hey, what's going on? I'm Nick Vlasidis here in Columbus, Ohio. I've been a realtor here since 2006, actually. But during that time frame, 2004 to 2017, I was also a Subway franchisee. And before that, I was at a painting contracting business in Tampa, Florida, when I was from 20 years old to 24. So before I moved here. So I've always been an entrepreneur, always depended on myself to basically pay myself, never depended on anyone else's paycheck or W-2. So I always thrived on putting the pressure on myself to earn a living. Anyway, as a realtor, I've had all this experience, and I've done tremendously well here through hard work and through just having a lot of mentors and a lot of coaches. But ultimately, it comes down to just serving people. And last year in 2017, 2018, I'm in the top 5% of the Columbus market. I sold over close to $11 million in sales last year, 41 houses, and that was only my second year full time. And so that's where I just, people are asking, like, how did you get so successful so quickly? And just starting full time like last year. It's just about helping people and knowing the right things. And I just surround yourself with great people and mentors like yourself. And I just thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. So let's dive right into it. We kind of talked off air here with regards to the, what it takes to be a good realtor. And, we talk about professionalism, we talk about, what it takes to make it in this business, because the reality of it is, at least where I'm at in Florida, 1 out of 3 will fail in 2 years, new licensees. So it is hard work and it is a business, right? So this is not a hobby, right? It's a business. So when you got started in this, Nick, what did you do to get your first customers? Like what kind of things did you do yourself to get yourself out there and meet people and get customers?
So the first thing is I have a great network of people and great, like from family and friends that are in high positions. None of them use me. None of them. They don't want a part-time realtor. They want a professional because winners want winners.
Right.
So what did I have to do to get those first couple of customers? What's the lowest hanging fruit in real estate? For sale by owners and expireds. So every for sale by owner that was out there, I used to literally knock on their doors or call them up and just try to help them. From either doing an open house for them, helping them, giving us some free marketing strategies, just developing a relationship, going at it a different way and at a different angle than most realtors. Realtors call them up, hey, can I list your house? Oh man, can I list your house? I can hang up the phone on you. They're like, who's this idiot calling me, right? I don't want this guy calling me. But if you call him up as a friend, say, how's it going? How's the process? What can I do to help you? Hey, listen, I could offer an open house for you. We could list it one day and we just do a free open house, something like that. Through certain coaches programs, I learned all these things and I just absorbed this knowledge. And I just went out there and I just listened to Zig Ziglar says it's best to stop selling and start helping. And I just go out there and just go for the helpful mindset. And called for sale by owners. That's what I did first. And then I called some expired listings. And I called them up too, and I saw why they didn't sell their house. And most of the time, it's marketing. It's a picture. You only have one chance for a good first impression. And I looked at all the pictures. They're dark images. They look like they took them on their cell phones. I hired professional photographers, professional videographers, from aerial videos to even the 3D Matterport. No matter what it takes to sell the house, you only have one chance for a good first impression. Online, it's everything. Everyone shops online now. So if that first picture is not good, they're not going to flip to the next one. And guess what? They're not going to schedule a showing. If they don't schedule a showing, never going to go in the house and never going to make an offer. You want chances on the multiple offer situation where most markets are. You got to be a professional and you got to be a professional marketer.
So you brought some good points with regards to professional photography. I mean, that's something where, I travel the United States and I look at a lot of MLS listings out there, right? So, and I always see that, you get the picture of, I saw expired listing was $1.8 million in Naples, Florida. And the picture was from the guy's pickup truck from the street out the window, and you could see him in the mirror. And that was the only picture they had in this entire listing. I'm like, nothing screams this neighborhood is horrible than the realtor's too scared to get out of the car and take a picture, right? Yeah. So what would you say to agents out there that say, I can't afford to pay for a Matterport, I can't afford to pay for drone photography? What would you say to them?
You can't afford not to. Because what happens is if you have that picture, You take that picture, you take it with your cell phone and you look at it, that dark image that you're just talking about that scares the crap out of people. But this is not a $1.8 million house. It doesn't look like a $1.8 million house online. You go to your next $1.8 million listing and say, show me proof of what you did. Show me proof of your listing, your marketing. You're going to show them that picture? You're going to be proud of that picture. That was my listing. No. You want to make people, the ultimate thing is that picture itself, you glamorize that picture. You make it look, it's the headshot. I call it the actor's headshot. You make that headshot look so good that people are going to want to see the next. It's like a casting director looking for the actor's headshot. If that's a bad headshot that doesn't look like it's a professional picture, that actor is not professional. It's not a professional actor. I'm not going to choose him. Same way. Same thing with the house, right? You look at that picture. You use that part of your marketing also. That's a reflection on you. That picture is a reflection as you as an agent. And people don't realize that bad picture is a reflection of you as an agent. Because now you're going to say, hey, I listed that house. Ooh, I don't want you listing my house. Now I show them all the pictures that we've taken, all those houses that I sold. I think that I sold over 100 homes in 2.5 years. And now it's growing. This year I already have almost, by the end of May, I'll have 30 homes sold. This year I'm going on 60. So basically going over 20% of the did last year, because people see the proof of what I do and how I go above and beyond to market a house effectively. And it's a reflection on the seller. If the house looks great in pictures, people are like, oh my God, your house looks awesome. You're making the sellers feel really good. And so that's a reflection on them. So you're making them feel good. And what does that lead to? That leads to referrals. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to say, look at my agent did. Look at that 3D. Look how cool this is. Your name's on there. They're going to send it to their friend. And just by doing those little things, you're paying a little bit, you're going to get 10 times more business. What's the ROI on that? It's plain and simple. Just do the right thing and do it well.
Yep, I agree. I think, for myself, I use Matterport in all my listings, and I do professional photography. And it's not as much money as people think it is. And if you do enough volume, they'll cut you discounts and things. I can tell you, personally, I've had people. So a sign goes up in the yard, and Johnny comes home from work and he sees the sign in the yard. The first thing he does is runs to Realtor.com or Zillow and pulls up the neighbor's house to see what it's listed for, right? Mm-hmm. And then they see the Matterport, they see your photography, they see all this stuff. And next thing you know, you're getting a call from that Johnny going, I want you to list my house too, because it stands out online. Yeah. Because when you're looking at, when you're going through enough, and I think sometimes too, I think agents don't use the consumer mindset. Mm-hmm. Because when the consumer's shopping online, they're looking at hundreds of houses sometimes. Yep. So they're going to compare that, and not only to get them in the door, but if I'm looking to sell my house as a consumer, where am I going to look? I'm going to look at the listings already out there and what people are doing to market those homes, right? And then look at the proof. Right, the total sales and those types of things. So I think it makes sense. You mentioned something earlier with regards to your Subway career, and you said you were in a marketing.
So I was part of the as a 12-year I was a Subway franchisee for 13 years, and I was part of the local advertising board of the Columbus market. And I always go on a listing presentation. I go through my 4P process: the preparation, presentation, promotion, and price. So how to prepare, how to present, how to promote, and how to price a house, right, for sale. So I go through my whole 4P process, and I tell them, I say, hey, listen, during the preparation process and the presentation process, I was a Subway franchisee, and it's a $5 footlong. A $5 footlong on TV looks so damn good. It looks like it's worth $1 million. I said, Subway, McDonald's, whatever you want, whatever corporation, they fluff up their sandwiches, they fluff up their burger. It never looks as good as that when you come out the store. But for TV purposes, it has to look that good because you only have one chance to make a good first impression. That's food staging. If they're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for a $5 sandwich, shouldn't your realtor, who's your professional marketer, who's your listing agent, who's marketing your house for sale, it's his job and his duty, or his or her job and duty, to ensure that this product that he's listing looks damn good on pictures and online and the videos from YouTube videos, whatever you want to do. It's our job to make it look its best, right, for the public, because that's why you're going to try to net the seller the most money by promoting it the best and the most effectively. And if Subway does it for a $5 sandwich, you better believe your realtor better be doing it too.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. So let me ask you this question. So what do you think that if you had to pick 3 things that is critical to be a successful real estate agent in today's marketplace? Because the market, we hear these words like disruption and all this kind of stuff, right? But yet we see the one picture of the $1.8 million house. It's like we do it to ourselves sometimes. What do you see the top 3 things are that real estate agents need to do or have or buy or whatever to be successful in this business.
One thing, the one thing I said, we are all people, and it's basically lead generating is like you have to talk to a lot of people. You got to talk to a ton of people. From either your sphere of influence, I'm lucky enough where I do have a lot of friends and I'm very social and I talk to a lot of people. My wife tells me to stop talking about real estate. And I don't talk about real estate. People come to me to talk about real estate, ask me real estate questions all the time. And always talking about real estate. Real estate is the center of the conversation of everything. Who doesn't want to talk about their house or their business, where they work? I do some office leases and stuff like that too, because I was a franchisee. So I know the business side. So I could talk business. It's part of me. I love it. Business is part of me. So talking what you do is lead generating. Lead generating is one. Helping people, find out, be the best you can. Practice, get coaches, get mentors. That's number two. Always do that. Surround yourself with great people. And number three, it's just help. Help. Stop selling, start helping. Just help people. Look out for their best interest. Whatever you do, I don't care if you make $1. I could sleep at night when I know I did the right thing. I don't care if I make a lot of commission or not. I go, if I'm doing the right thing for this listing, for this person, I'm going to help out. Money comes. Money's a byproduct to like the value and the service that you provide ultimately. So just stop selling and start helping.
Yeah, and I agree with that too. You know, Dad always said, do something you love and the money will come. Yep. And I think we do things for the right reason. You do get that referral business. You get, and it just becomes a snowball effect, right? But I think if agents are out there chasing commission checks and they're chasing the next deal, it's going to show. Mm-hmm. I know I was listening to a listing presentation last week. And I was the last one to go in. There was 5 of us that were interviewing for the job to sell this house. And the guy before me goes, man, that dude had sales breath. Like he was hardcore. Like his entire life depended on getting that one listing, right? Mm-hmm. So, and consumers, again, put the consumer mindset on, they see that. So
they see right through that, man. And I just go out there and I'm just so helpful with them. I look out, I say, this is your point. I look at what their needs and their wants are. You have to analyze what they need, not what you need. You know, how can I help you? What's going to be best? What's your time frame? What's the possession date? Look at all those things that could help them. And a lot of people don't look at, I never look at what's in it for me. It's what's in it for them. Like what's in it for my client. That's how I can help you. What's in it for you? Let me do the best that I can do to help you out. And those needs, my money's going to come no matter what. And I never even look at my end. It just comes. And that's how I got busy. And the proof is there. And the proof is when you get a bunch of referrals.
Yep, absolutely.
After the second year, that's where I'm getting all my referrals. Keith Robinson, when he came here, last year, he said it's unfair when after 2 to 3 years, if realtors stick it out and they're good at what they do, after the third year, it becomes very easy. It does, because you built a generation, you built a pipeline already, that you built a referral clientele. You don't have to pay as much for advertising. Your return on your investment is take care of the people that already know you and like you and trust you too. So, and that's what I do.
Let's talk about that. You brought up referrals, which is a good point. Let's talk about that. What do you do? Do you have a system or program? Because, there's lots of books written on, a lot of coaches. Mm-hmm. I coach right now with Michael Mayer. Yeah. And he's got the Generosity Generation, and he talks a lot about referrals. He wrote the 7 Levels book. What do you do? What process do you have to cultivate those referrals? So
from following up with them, like every Monday or Tuesday, I'll give them like my past clients a call. I'll text message them or stay in contact with them. And now I'm setting up programs where sending out cards like for holiday cards, just staying in touch with them, like campaigns that way. And also gifting. Gifting is huge. So gifting, I want to set up something right now. Right now I'm solo and I'm at the point where I need to hire a full-time admin to start these gifting campaigns, because I'm getting so busy with transactions now that I need that person to stay in touch with my clients, to send them the gifts, send them to help me send out cards. And I use send out cards. You ever hear of send out cards?
Yeah, I've heard it.
So send out cards, I send brownies and stuff like that sometimes also. It all depends. I have to get a more systematic approach, and I'm getting to that level now where I'm getting busy enough now where I need to hire someone to help me out with that, because my clients are so important to me. You can stay in touch with them. They'll refer you 10 clients. And what does that equal? You say an average, I don't even look at it that way, but an average commission check is here. Say my average, it's about $300,000 is the sales price. So say $9,000. They send you 10 clients. So, yeah, that's a lot of money. So, and another person sends you 10 clients in their lifetime. It adds up. And I don't look at it that way. I just look at it just helping people, and then it naturally comes.
Right. So do you do any kind of client appreciation parties?
Yeah, so now I'm starting with the client appreciation party. So we're I'm actually in the process of doing my first.
Oh, cool.
So I want to start sending out either from bringing them to the local hockey games or the baseball games, or bring them out bowling, doing something with a family event. Or bring my kids in, have my kids involved also.
Yep, no, that's huge. That's huge. I know that my business really broke open once I started getting the referrals, and at the point where you're at, you know, I mean, you need an assistant to take it to the next level. It just takes so much off your plate. And it, you know, when you can have that deep relationship with people, and they like you, know you, and trust you, and they're willing to, without even asking, give your information to somebody because you're top of mind.
Yep.
And I think that, you know, what amazes me about this business, and I got in this business in 2006, 2007. And it always amazed me because you can go on a listing presentation, right? Get a listing, call the expired, call the for sale by owner. Every single one of those homes were sold by an agent to that current seller. Where are they? Where are they? Why aren't they? You know, I mean, if you think about it, if everybody did their job like you do, there would be no room for new agents because there'd be no, you know what I'm saying? Like, it always amazes me on how you can go in and get a listing because somebody sold in that house. And I had one guy, we have Gartner, which is a national company that does consulting for IT. And he moved to Florida in 2017 and then got the Coca-Cola account in Atlanta, Georgia. He had to move. He listed his house. It expired after 12 months. We took it over. We did the same exact price. We talked about marketing, did the Matterport, did the drone, did everything else. We had an offer on the house in 72 hours, full price offer, and closed in 30 days. I've gotten 4 referrals from him without even asking him for the referrals from Gartner, people that are leaving, exiting the area. But he was only there from 2017. The guy that he bought the house from, he did hire originally, and it expired. So
it's just following up with your past. I mean, literally, a lot of people forget about this transaction. The buyers, eventually, they're going to take 4 or 5 years. They're going to most likely sell their house and upsize. And so if you get to stay in contact with, follow up with them, invite them to the client appreciation parties, do all that. And I have the same story. I have one listing right now that was on the market for 1,000 days. I put it on the market. It was 1,000 days. 1,000 days. I put it on the market. 28 days we got it in contract because I did the extra things to get it in contract. 28 days. Same price as it was last year. Same price. There's nothing different. Same price. Same house. And so that's the difference. Is that you go above and beyond with the marketing campaigns, you're going to find that right by. You never know where, from social media to the internet, whatever you want to do. But you have to have the great pictures to represent you and the client. It represents both of you. And it represents their house. It represents yourself as a professional agent. So you have to do a good job in marketing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, you know, I was at Grant Cardone's 10X conference in Miami this year in February. Yeah. And he said something to me that still, it just resonates with me every single day. And he says, if you want to increase your income, increase your audience. So for us, the audience is the buyers if you're listing a house, right? Get more eyeballs on that house somehow, and you'll increase your income because you actually sell it. So I'm going to ask you one more question. What do you use for a database?
What I use for database, so my CRM?
Yep.
So I have Follow Up Boss and Big Purple Dot I'm just got into right now because one of my lenders uses that and he wants me to use that so they can basically collaborate with me when they make the phone calls. And I have one other lender that uses Follow Up Boss, so he uses the Follow Up, so they collaborate with me if they're helping me with any. They have the ISAs that they can help me with the leads. So I use both.
Okay. Yeah, I use Follow Up Boss. It's called Big Purple Dot.
Yeah, Big Purple Dot is another one.
Yeah, I heard that now twice in the last 2 days. So, all right, cool. And how much time do you think you spend in your database, in your CRM?
So I do the lead from the lead generation. Any like Zillow phone call or any like Realtor.com phone call. Like I'll pick that up, try to pick those up right away, and then those automatically sync into it's on my phone. Yep. So I'm on it all the time. I'm texting via the follow-up off the text message. Obviously, you use it so you know what Fub's all about. So through that text messaging system, that's how I follow up with a lot of these clients, and it automatically texts them whenever a lead comes in. But then it's up to me to put them on a drip campaign. So either a texting campaign or an email campaign. Big Purple Dot, I think, has a texting campaign also. So it could text them instead of like the email drip campaign that Follow Up Boss has. Big Purple Dot offers a text dripping campaign also, which helps out. Just learning about it now, so I'm trying to look at the difference of either or.
Okay.
Mm.
And lead generation. Do you do anything outside lead generation? And you buy zip codes with Zillow?
Yeah, so I have one zip code with Zillow, and then now I just purchased another one. And now that I have, I think it's time for me to hire an admin, maybe a buyer's agent to go out there, because I'm focused right now. I have a bunch of listings. And like I said, by the end of June, I'll have 30 closings.
Wow.
So this year, and that's my big. Last year I had 40 closings altogether. So this year I'll have 30 by the end of June. So that's half the year I have 30 closings. Hopefully I could get, not hopefully, I will get 60 this year. That was my goal. And if hopefully I could surpass that, but I think I'm gonna need buyers with the buyer's agent and some admin help. My next goal would be to hit 100 closings in a year.
Oh, that's awesome. And part of this of running a business is being smart enough to know when to hire, when to bring somebody else on. Because I see a lot of agents, they hit a plateau and they cap at like 22 transactions.
Yep.
Because we all have a capacity of 168 hours in a week. Yep. We just can't do it all. So, but they're just not. Some people just aren't bright enough to say, what do I need to do to get help? And it goes back to what you said, coaching and mentoring. Because if you don't have that, if you don't know, you don't know. And the weird thing about real estate is you go through real estate school to get a license, but nobody teaches you how to run the business aspect of it, right? So you rely on your broker, you rely on a mentor, you rely on a coach. They're the ones that teach you how to run your business. But if you're not investing in that or taking the time to sit with somebody, you're not going to know. And you sit at this plateau and you keep hanging your head. So I see that happen a lot with that.
Yeah, no, it's knowing your numbers too. Knowing your numbers and know when to stop with your expenses too. Because you can buy a bunch of Zillow ads but you're not closing. Your conversion ratio is very, very low because you don't have enough time in the day to answer the phone calls, and you have to follow up with people. If you're that busy at a one-man show, you can't follow up with everyone. Yeah, and that's the biggest problem. So a lot of people spend too much money and they don't look at their P&L on a daily basis or weekly basis. I have QuickBooks Online. I also have Bench Accounting, which is like monthly accounting. It goes to them. They upload it, and once a month I pay them, but it's great. They have everything analyzed. I send it to my accountant. They do it. I also have QuickBooks that tracks my miles, so I double check what they're doing, so I know where my numbers are at, and so I know where my expenses are at. In the beginning, I wasn't. I just went full time, and I owned other businesses before. I literally lost my shit. I was spending so much money on all this advertising. I was throwing darts everywhere, and I lost a ton of money. And I didn't realize, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? What am I doing? And let me focus on the people I started coaching, and I started doing an analysis of every closing that I had. And I found out, and I wrote for every closing that I had, I wrote the name of the client, where they came from. Did they come from Zillow? Did they come from a current client referral? Did they come from a past client referral? It's like the core coaching. You ever heard the core coaching program? Yep. So the core coaching teaches you all that. So I've done the core coaching program. I was in MAPS coaching before, and with Next Home right now, I think right now we're in a position with the Next Home. We have great coaches and great mentors within our program. And speaking of technology, it's just amazing what we can do right now. It helps me out tremendously with my marketing.
Yeah, I think what Nexom offers from a marketing perspective for listing agents, I think is phenomenal. But yeah, I think keeping track of your expenses, and as a quick story, I was in Vegas out there on vacation once, and I was sitting at the Paris at the buffet. Mm-hmm. And I had a real estate T-shirt on, right? So we wear T-shirts out to kind of promote ourselves. And the waitress comes up, she goes, "Oh my God, you're in real estate." She goes, "I used to be." And I'm like, "Okay, here's another waitress now that does real estate part time." And she comes out, she's got this phone, and she's showing me these pictures. And this woman was the number one, number two real estate agent in 2005, whatever, before the crash. And she had pictures of herself on billboards, standing on the billboard on the interstate in front of the billboard of her. And I said, "Well, how many billboards do you have?" She goes, "I had about 15 of them." And she goes, "And I did this, I did this, I did this." And I said, "What happened?" Obviously, something went majorly wrong that you're now serving coffee at the buffet here at Paris. And she goes, "The one thing I did wrong was," I didn't realize what I was spending and where I was spending it. I didn't realize where my return was. And when the market crashed, she went to all the billboard companies and said, I got to do something here. And they wouldn't let her have a contract. And she went down with that ship. And she lost everything she had. She lost her house. She lost her car. She had a Bentley. I mean, she was rolling because she didn't keep track of anything. And she goes, "I'll never get back in real estate." So I said, "Don't ever say never." And so I actually saw her a couple, probably 2 years ago. She's back in real estate full time, but she's not spending like crazy, right? So she's doing okay for herself, but yeah, it doesn't take long to get out of control on it.
No, it does. I mean, you spend a ton of money.
Yeah. This is, and I think agents don't realize it is a business. You got to spend money to make money, but know what's the return on it.
Yep. Exactly.
if you got a Zillow zip code and you're getting, 5 or 6 deals a year and it's paying for it, so be it.
Yeah.
But again, those aren't cheap,
No.
So you got to know what you're coming in with. So
in the beginning, it wasn't. I was scared because in the beginning, it was, when you first started doing it, it takes like 90 to 120 days before that first one closes. So you're spending all this money, you're not seeing the return right away.
Yep.
It's got to be, you got to make sure that you're following up, and it takes 90 to 120 days before that first one closes. You have to nurture that business, and that's what it is. They're not. You might find that cash buyer that's going to come in 2 weeks and close. That might happen, but it's not. Don't expect that to happen.
Right.
That happened to me one time in 2 years now.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah, you gotta nurture it. You gotta be long term with it, right? I mean, you gotta go into it, I think, with the mindset that I'm going to go in here, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to go into it. I got 12-month commitment. If it's $1,000 a month, I got $12,000 commitment. I'm all in, because it's almost like with farming. I don't know if you do any farming, but I was talking with an agent the other day in my office, and she comes up to me and she goes, "Jason, this farming thing doesn't work." And I said, "What do you mean it doesn't work?" She goes, "Well, I've been farming and I'm not getting anything." I said, "Well, what have you sent out?" She goes, "Well, I sent 2 mailings out." Well, 2 mailings is not a farming process, right? I mean, the whole idea of it is you're planting the seeds, and you got to wait till the crop. I mean, it takes time to cultivate that subdivision, that neighborhood, and get eyeballs on you for anything to happen. I mean, sometimes a year of farming before I even got the first phone call. But most agents will give up after 2 times or 2 months of the Zillow Lead program.
Absolutely. No, you ever hear Les Brown?
Yeah.
Les Brown is great. He talks about the bamboo tree. He's like, does anyone know how long it takes to grow a bamboo tree, to nurture it, to feed it before it actually breaks the ground? And I was like, no. I'm like, no. 5 years to feed it, water it, do whatever. You look like a crazy person. He's like, you look like a crazy ass feeding this thing, and you're just looking at you're watering the ground. Nothing's growing. After 5 years, at 5 years old, how long does it take to grow 50 feet? So you water for 5 years, it takes 5 weeks for it to grow 50 feet.
Wow.
People don't see the work you've put in before you have a success. There's no overnight success.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You're not an overnight success. How hard did you work?
Oh, yeah.
Think about that. Think about how many failures. I've had a ton of failures. And you learn through those processes, but you have to be consistent and just go through it, go to the next level, follow up, and just work hard to follow it. And it's going to grow. Yeah. You look back 10 years, like, damn, I worked hard, but you know what? It's paid off now.
Yeah, it does take. It just takes time, and it takes. You got to be. You got to be analyzing your business all the time.
Yeah.
So one last question before we wrap up here, real quick. Business plan.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about your process and not your plan itself, but kind of what do you go through when you start your business planning process? Is it written? Is it something you keep on your phone? Where do you have it in your office?
Yeah,
or?
so I have. So on my phone, I have my basically a vision board and a business plan of looking at my goals and my numbers. And then a couple of years ago when I started I did the Joshua Smith and 90-day boot camp, and I have that one listed as $250,000 GCI, and then crossed it out at 500. Last year I hit the 250 mark in the gross commissions. And that was 2.5-3 years ago. And you see those little things. And I just put it out there. And my next goal was, they said 500 the following year. So I have these little boards up, what my numbers are. And my goal this year would be, the next goal is to 500 GCI. So I look at that. And then I look at the how many clients I need to sell, how many listings, what percentages of listings I want. So I want 60-40, 50-50. I want my business to be mostly half and half, or 60-40 on the listing side, because the list will last. Stuff like that I look at. But then I also look at family. I want to make sure that I also hire people, and I put how many people I want to hire in order to save time for my family, because family time is important. In the beginning, it's tough. You're going to work your ass off. You're going to work your tail off, and something's going to have to sacrifice in the beginning. But for the long term, it's worth it.
Yeah, I think once you start getting your goals, you can start to put more family time, and then you start to hire people, admins, and fire agents and things. You're not doing the open houses every Sunday now. You get time with your family. So. But that's any business, probably the same with a Subway. When you start a Subway, it's probably tough out of the gate, and then once it started running, you get employees. It becomes a little bit easier. So, all right, Nick, well, I appreciate your time today, man.
I appreciate you. Thank you for having me. You're awesome. The man, the myth, the legend.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great day, buddy.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.